Hello and welcome back to the Whole Nine Sports Podcast. I'm your host, as always, Dylan Sanders. Joining me today is Brandon Olson. You can find me on Twitter at Dilly Sanders. You can find Brandon on Twitter at WNS_Brandon. And then joining us today is former McNeese State Cowboy, former LSU Tiger, tight end Jamal Pettigrew. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. It's good to be on the show today.
Yeah, it's been a busy couple months, I'm sure, for you. Just saw you the other day at the LSU Pro Day. Nice.
Good.
It was a good performance. Good day.
I appreciate
What
it.
What has your pre-draft process been like so far?
Um, it's pretty much just been a smooth process. Mostly, I did the Hula Bowl to start off with everything. I did a couple of interviews with some teams there, and then I started training for Pro Day and had a good outing at Pro Day and just waiting for visits and private workouts and things like that. And the draft is coming up soon in about 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's one thing I wanted to know about was what was your Hula Bowl experience like?
Oh, the Hula Bowls, I had an excellent time at the Hula Bowl. Um, it was good to get out there and play against other NFL type talent. I think I had a good outing there. The game was fun. We got to learn the hockey and things like that. So I had a nice time in Orlando, Florida.
Oh, I didn't know that they taught you all the hockey. That's awesome.
Yeah, so actually, who taught us the hockey was Braden Fajoko's dad and his brothers. So it was good to be out there learning it from family.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I remember like I'm an LSU student, so like going to the games. Obviously, the Fajocos doing the hockey was
Hmm.
always an awesome experience. So yeah, that's awesome.
So
We mentioned your pro day. It was a few days ago. Would you say you put up the numbers you expected? Did you want to do a little bit better? How do you feel about your pro day?
yeah, I think for the most part, I just wanted to go out there and compete and just do the best that I could. I did have goals set, and for the most part, I reached all my goals. Besides on the bench press, I thought I'd get a little bit more, but I think as the day went on, just doing all the different type of drills and things they had us doing, I didn't get the number that I wanted on bench, but I was still proud with what I got.
Yeah, I mean the you had a really good 40 time, 4.67 top would have been top five for tight end for the combine.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, that's got to be something. There's always room for fast, big tight ends in the NFL. So
Right, for sure. I mean, always room for improvement. So, I think I had a good outing and had a top five in pretty much all categories. So I was really proud of everything.
And how much of a chip did it put on your shoulder, if it put any chip, that you weren't one of the combine guys? Because I've been saying I disagree with a lot of the combine invites this year. So how
Mhm.
much of a chip did that put on your shoulder?
Um, I think it just made me want to compete even more. It gave me a little extra time to see the guys' numbers and see what they did at the combine, and it just gave me a kind of like a number and a goal to put on myself. And obviously, I went out there and performed and pretty much take place top five in every category or top 10.
yeah, so yeah, tell us about your journey so far. Like you're a four-star recruit out of New Orleans. You went to LSU, ended up going to McNeese. How was your college experience?
I love my college experience. I went to, LSU straight out of high school. Got to play with guys like Jamal Adams, Leonard Fournette, and Traven Durrell, and Joe Burrow, Jamar, all those guys. So I think it was a good experience to play with those guys. Those are guys that are playing, that were playing at the next level or are currently still playing at the next level. So, just going against those guys every day at practice, I think it prepared me for the next level. And then, of course, once to McNeese and actually get, playing under Coach Frank Wilson and being in that offense, I think I enjoyed my time at McNeese, and so I love my college experience. I got a national championship out of it, so I think it was pretty successful, if you ask me.
Please stop mentioning that national championship. I can't stand Dylan talking about it all the time. He was insufferable, man.
That was such a fun year. Oh
I
man, I could only imagine. that we can talk about it because it'll annoy Brandon, but that Florida game that year is still the
Oh, come on.
craziest experience I've had
Yeah,
at
it
a
was
football
it was
game.
it was a pretty interesting game. It went back and forth, back and forth. Definitely one of my favorite games that I've ever been a part of.
Everybody, all the fans doing the Gator chomp was, yeah,
Yeah,
crazy, loud.
it was one of the most wild experiences in Tiger Stadium, to be honest.
Yeah, that's probably the loudest game I've been to. It was crazy.
Yeah, well.
I hate you two right now. I just want to let you know that. I just want to let you both know that right now, man. God, that is just that was just pain for me. Um, and now you're going through the pre-draft process. You're meeting with NFL teams. You're talking to them, and in these interviews, how would you describe your skill set to these NFL teams?
Yeah, I would describe it as a versatile tight end that can do everything, whether it's block, catch, pass protection. So I just want to express to those teams that I am a versatile tight end, and I can help them in every aspect of the game, and not just on offense, but on special teams as well. I'm willing to do anything on special teams and anything to help the team out and win games.
Which NFL players would you say that you model your game after?
hmm well, growing up, I really loved Jimmy Graham. I was a diehard Saints fan. So, I always took names from his game, whether it was the aggressive, the way he just played the game, being very aggressive and very dominant after the catch, or with his route running tight techniques and everything like that. So I love Jimmy Graham, and some of the people that I'm currently watching is George Kittles. And I think, like I said, going back to being a very versatile tight end, he's a dominant blocker and an excellent pass catching and run after catch type of guy.
Do you like blocking, like putting in the effort and getting the blocking? Because it's a lot of times whenever you see like the more athletic tight ends, they shy away from the blocking.
Yeah, I love blocking. I was in mostly run dominant offenses for my entire career in high school and college. So I love blocking. I embrace it. I think it's a lost art in tight ends these days. A lot of guys are very athletic and can catch and run after catch, but some of the guys don't want to block. And I'm more than willing to block and get down there and line and block.
That's actually that's something I want to know about because you just mentioned you were in a run heavy offense for much of your high school, much of your college career, and then 2019 happened. Just how wild was that to go completely polar opposite kind of offense in just 1 year?
It was beautiful to see, to be honest, just to say that, we were a run dominant team for, the 3 years prior. And then, the 3 years that I was there, and even prior to that. But, and then that 1 year we put it all together and whether it was run pass option or anything like that, and we just put it all together and went 15-0, won a championship. So I think it was a beautiful thing to see, and I was very proud of that offense. Still one of my favorite offenses that I played in to this day.
It's crazy. So Brandon, I mention this I tell this story all the time, but we talked to a player named Kobe Boyce who played on the Texas team that year, and he told us a story about going up and how no one saw that team coming, and how going up to that day in practice they were modeling the game after and were preparing as if Joe Burrow, and this is what the coaches called him, a worse version of Jake Fromm. And so that's how they prepared for that game. And you go back and watch, and you can kind of tell how they were not prepared for that.
Yeah, nah, he no, he ain't no. He ain't Jake Fromm. We very much know him as Joe Burrow. You know what I'm saying? He made a name for himself, and he's Joe Burrow.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I have another fun story about that year with involving Joe Burrow being completely underestimated because Dylan and I, before the season, we made a slap bet about it, which obviously is like you lose a bet, you get slapped. And the bet that we made was that the year before that, obviously LSU was very run heavy, and we said, or I said, that Felipe Franks would have a better season than Joe Burrow. And boy, was I fucking wrong, man. Have I ever been more wrong? I don't know, but that was just. I will stand by my point that before the season, it wasn't that far fetched, and then you guys were like, "Hey, we're gonna actually like we learned what the forward pass was, and it changed real quick on my end."
Do you have a favorite on the field moment from your college career so far? Well,
Favorite on the field moment. To be honest, so many from that 2019 season that
mm,
even in my entire career to choose from. But of course, I have to go with winning the national championship in New Orleans, being that I'm from New Orleans, and I have to definitely say that was one of my favorite moments. Just when Joe took that knee at the last play of the game, and then it finally came to realization that we just won a national championship and did it in a very fashionable way. I might add, be going 15-0. So I'd say that's one of my favorite moments.
That is one
I
of my
wanted to also.
favorite moments of your on-field career, by the way. I just want you to know that. I was so sad.
Um, I did want to ask you, what was it like learning under Coach Frank Wilson? And obviously he's a great recruiter, but also a great running backs coach. What was it like this year?
It was. I think it was great. It was needed. I learned a lot from him. He's a very experienced coach, very experienced recruiter. So I learned a lot from him on the field and off the field. He's a great man on and off the field.
Yeah. Then, do you have any favorite off-field memories from just your college career?
It definitely been getting on the Southland Conference commissioners list, academic honor roll. That was one of my best moments. I was very proud of that, and being to see that. I'm also on track to getting my master's in May, so I'm very happy with those two moments.
Your
Awesome.
master's
What are
in
you getting
what?
their masters in?
Criminal justice.
Nice.
Awesome.
Mhm.
Awesome. Does that lead into like any post football or off the field like career plans for you for criminal justice?
In criminal justice, I haven't really thought about that. I honestly just want to, I want my master's degree, but I want to be able to set up businesses to run after football, and that's what I would like to do after football.
And lastly, so this is what we ask everybody at the end. Are you familiar with my calls, my cleats in the NFL?
My cause, my cleats. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
when players get the.
yeah. You get to. So if you were designing that today, you will be eventually in a few months. But what would your cause be for your cleats?
I'll probably do breast cancer awareness, just because that's something that's still needs to be people needs to be aware about, and got to support that, and I would want to put that on my plate.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming by. It was a blast. Great talking to you, and good luck in the next couple of weeks.
So I appreciate you guys having me.